Hello lovely people, welcome to our weekly reading for the week of the 10th of April. I hope you have all had a lovely week and I hope that you are looking as forward as I am to this weekly reading. I'm really interested to see what the cards have to show us today. Now actually before I start, I'm just going to point out this new deck that I have, which it just looks absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? And well, from this side, and this is a Learning Tarot deck card. So it's from the Witchy Cauldron, and this is what it looks like. And it's a it's a fabulous, fabulous deck of cards for anybody beginning. And so this is the one that I'm going to use today. So it's pretty much like the Rider-Waite, except that it does have some clues for you. So for anybody beginning tarot, this is a really good deck to use. So let's have a look and see. Okay, let's have a look and see. Okay, so we have the Two of Wands here. We have a Minor Arcana card, which is about day-to-day sort of stuff that's going to influence what happens, our behaviors, our choices, that sort of thing, which is kind of interesting because this card is a card of choice. And then we have here the High Priestess, which is a Major Arcana card. So this Major Arcana cards are kind of like the deep psyche stuff that's behind our behavior. This is much deeper stuff. And then we have here, we have the Three of Pentacles, which is another Minor Arcana card. So if you look at these cards straight off, we're looking at choice, we're looking at the word yes here, and we're looking at another yes card. So we've got a maybe card, a yes card, and the last card is about teamwork. So let's start with the Two of Wands. So the twos basically are about decisions, they're about choices that we have to make, and options, sort of kind of thing. So with this particular one, with this Two of Wands, we're looking at, first of all, we're looking at wands. Now, wands people are people that like adventure and they like travel. And it's kind of hard to keep wands people down. So we would be sort of looking at the possibilities being limitless. He's holding a globe in his hand. So we're looking at the world in his hands, which is kind of saying go as big as you like, go in whatever direction you like. So, you know, there's actually, this is a very big open card here, this Two of Wands. Now, but however, having said that, it's also a card of planning. And now this card can sometimes be associated with travel, and it can often be associated with the idea of immigration, because it could be, you know, whether to stay or go. Now, if we look here at the low walls, once upon a time, these walls would have provided security, but now they're kind of, now they're sort of stifling and curtailing the needs of this person. So, you know, the wands people, they are at their best when they're adventuring, if you like, and they're at their best when they're achieving. So, you know, goals give them purpose. So that's very much about wands. And again, if you look at the waters here, they're very still. And, you know, there's no real challenges with still waters. So, you know, this guy is kind of thinking, yeah, you know, this isn't really kind of suiting me anymore. You know, my internal world just feels too small. I want to get out there. And if you look here, you see all of these little mountains and things. Well, these are challenges that this person, that this card is saying, go out and face those challenges. You know, they're achievable. They're not massive. They're not huge. And you're able for this. Because, you know, There's a lot of red in this card, a red cloak, a red hat, and this highlights your passion for adventure and your sort of sense of mastering the physical world. So it's a great card. It's actually a great card to start the reading with. It's also a very, very positive card, the Two of Wands. So there's nothing negative in this card at all. To me, I think it's a really interesting card. I think it's like, oh, right, the world's at my feet here, or the world's in my hands, or the world is my oyster. Oh, what shall I do? Now, this then kind of brings us to the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is she's sort of like she's your sort of personification of wisdom and inner knowing. So when this card comes up, this card is telling you to trust your instinct. It's telling you that you know more than you think you know. And that's really important, because the High Priestess guards the realms of your deeper feelings. And the thing is, you may be actually a little bit too distracted to trust your instincts, to trust your gut, because there may be way too much chitter-chatter going on in your external world. And so what this card is telling you to do, it's telling you to go inside, it's telling you to go deep, and that's where you'll find your answers. That's where that's where your answers are. So, this is a card to go inside and to consider your personal direction, if you like. And it's a card that's saying, remember your life purpose, or explore your life purpose and determine which goals are kind of in harmony with your spiritual values. So here we have this card, which is the Two of Wands, and this card is about planning. And it's saying, okay, so maybe the grass is always greener on the other side, but it is whatever it is, it's about planning. And there is a sense of restlessness here, and this kind of maybe the chitter chatter of this card, if you like. And this card is saying, look, we know you're going to be planning, but you have to kind of go inside a little bit. In fact, more than a little bit. You need to go deep to figure out what it is that you actually want to be planning. And so it's choices are kind of made after mentally examining kind of practical issues. And, here you're kind of looking at the white pillar here, which would be about these sort of issues, these practical issues that you'd be looking at. And then, it's about sort of sleeping on the decision so that you can consider the unseen influences, which are the dark pillar here. Because, dreams offer valuable information from the subconscious mind to anybody who's willing to hear them. And also, more importantly, for anybody who's willing to decipher the symbology of their dreams, because I think we've all figured out by now that our dreams are not straightforward, are they? So they can come up with all sorts of weird and wonderful things, and you have to kind of take some time out and go, oh, what the heck was that all about? And so this is why, a lot of people will say, well, have a little notebook beside you so that you can write your dreams, as soon as you wake up. I don't know, that doesn't really kind of work for me, but that might be just because I'm dead lazy at that hour. The last thing when I wake up in the morning, I sort of kind of want to dwell on my dreams without sort of having to take up pen and paper. But I think maybe that's something, maybe this card is for me. Maybe this card is telling me, well, look, this is what you could be doing to make your life just that little bit easier, so that you can get some messages through, because there's no doubt in my mind that the messages are there. It's whether we're allowing them to come through and recognizing them. That's kind of, I sort of think, what it's all about. So this card is telling you to maybe, take a spiritual approach to your career, and especially if it involves helping other people. Now, again, I'm going to go back to the Two of Wands here, because the Two of Wands are about making decisions. They're about options. They're about planning. And, but I'm looking at Wands people here, and Wands people are very much about the adventure. They're about achievement. However, when this card is coming up right next to this one, this is telling me that maybe the achievement may well be in the service for other people. And I mean, let's face it, there's a whole ream of services that can be offered to people. It just goes accountancy, lawyer, doctor, bus driver, in the arts, anything that we're going to be doing that will offer something to another person. And so, there's a huge choice, and this is the word here, there's a huge choice to look at. And I think this card is saying also a little bit like, take your time. There's no rush, because once people can very much be in a rush, because they want to get out there and they want to do. So, the High Priestess here is sort of saying, well, slow your horses down here a little bit, and let's have a little think about, what is it that you want to do? What is your spiritual path? What is your path? What are your goals that are going to align themselves, if you like, with your spiritual path? Because that is the, at the end of the day, or in the long run, all these lovely little cliches, it is the goal that you have that will align with your spiritual path, is the goal that will be a lot more sustaining, if you like. And I know that, like, trusting your instincts can be difficult, because there's an awful lot of sort of, oh, what if this, or what if that, or oh, what if I fail, or what if I don't do this right, or whatever. Well, the thing is, fears are not your instincts. And when you feel fear in your body, if you want to kind of know the difference, when you feel fear in your body, you get this sense of tightness and anxiety. Whereas, if you're going by your gut instinct, then your instincts are sharp and they're clear, and you feel empowered with them. So there is the difference between fear and instinct. And I think it's really good to know that. Now, there's a couple of little symbols about these, but I'm going to come back to those in a moment. So, because I want to go on to the Three of Pentacles, because the Three of Pentacles, once again, as in always with these readings, these cards are so related. And the Three of Pentacles, in my mind, totally relates and resonates with both of these cards. Because the Three of Pentacles describes progress when you have personal plans, and progress with your personal plans. And the Pentacles, that's the threes, but the Pentacles are very much about maturing finances, so about finances coming together, and about career development. So, the Three of Pentacles, it sort of represents growth that's possible with solid foundations. And that bit is really, really important here, the solid foundations. Now, if you look at this card, we're looking at a sort of a church building here, aren't we? And it's a tradesperson and with two monks. And you look at the solidity of that church building. We're not talking about light timber here or anything that's just going to blow down. We're looking at really, really solid foundations. And the Three of Pentacles represents studying and learning, sort of acquiring new skills that will enable stable growth from careful planning. So you could well be looking at maybe let's just say, for instance, you're looking at a career change, or maybe you're looking at immigration, and maybe you're thinking, well, will my skills, will the skills that I already have, will they transfer? Will they transfer abroad, or will they transfer into a different job or a different type of job? Or do I need to do some courses to advance in the career that I have? And this card is saying, like, yes, you do. Maybe you're going to change your whole life's work because of what the magician, what the high priestess is saying here. The high priestess is saying, align your physical world with your spiritual world, because if you do that, then it will be, you're looking at the long run here. And so the Three of Skills is about apprenticeship. It's about learning. It's about studying. It's about growing and hard work and commitment. And it's about building on success. It's about collaboration. I'm reading now from this. I don't mind saying that because it's right there in front of me. It's about teamwork, determination, goals, dedication, quality, attention to detail. It could be any kind of a tradesperson. It could be anybody. It could be any professional even. And achievements, it's recognition and a reward. So it's a really, really positive card. It's a yes card. And even though this is a maybe card, it's also a really positive card. And we're looking at 3 positive cards here. So going back to the Three of Pentacles, we are looking at, if you're looking at this tradesperson, he's working on a structure. And this is a structure that's kind of like a monument to God. So, or God or spirit or whatever it is, that you choose to believe in. And look at the Three of Pentacles here on the arch above, because these Three of Pentacles are to remind you that all success comes from God. It comes from spirit. And to enjoy the fruits of the earth is necessary to remain connected to the earth. And this connection is through this pillar. So this is what's going to give you long-term stability. And I think that's really quite fascinating, because actually you're looking at these 2 wands, which I always think have been made of wood. You're looking at all of these little buds of growth here. So to me, this is sort of thinking, what shall I do? How shall I go forward here? Oh, the world is at my feet. The world is my oyster. It's in my hands. What shall I do? And, there's a real budding going on here with the 2. And then the High Priest is saying, okay, it's no hurry. Just settle down. Maybe take a weekend, go somewhere by yourself, climb a mountain, walk, do the ironing, whatever. I do loads of my thinking when I'm doing the ironing. So it's not that I have loads of ironing to do, but I actually just find there's something about that kind of, movement that allows my mind to get into a sort of meditative state. And then this card is saying, do these 2 and you get here. And it's sort of, so the 3s card, the 3s are about growth, which is looking at this here, an advancement of this. It's about, 3s are very much about creativity and progress. And the 3 of Pentacles, it represents enough money to support your plans at this stage. Well, that's just great, isn't it? So, most goals in life, they require money to make them possible. And this card is saying that money is there. Now, maybe you have to go and look for it. It's not going to necessarily come knocking on your door, but maybe, if you trust your instinct and your inner knowing, then those messages will be there for you, pointing to where that money can be found. So this is very much about opening up to receiving here. And so I'm just loving this spread here. So I just want to also tell you as well that when you're learning, you've got to remember that the learning process will involve mistakes. So it's about trial and error. And when you make mistakes, you know, it's not about giving up, it's about helping you to get better. So don't give up. It's about refining your skill and going over and over it until you're able to achieve your goal. Because this card here is about you, the manifestation of your plans from here, because it's through the High Priestess that you have been perfecting and enacting those ideas that are destined for realization. So these cards are totally interdependent on each other. And this card, the Three of Pentacles, it also represents collaborative efforts. So it's very much about teamwork. So my question here is, how is teamwork showing up in your life? Now, the sort of symbols that I just briefly want to go through here is we're looking at, we've got the planet signs here. So these are two of them here, two of the Mars planets. And the whole thing with Mars is about action and energy. So I think that's wonderful. Action, energy. Energy, action. So, you know, I mean, I love this, and I love that the High Priestess is sandwiched in between, you know, as is the moon. So we're looking at feelings and instincts. Isn't that just amazing? You've got action and energy, and sandwiched in between, you have feelings and instincts. I mean, really, honestly, this is just kind of a little bit spooky. And the other thing that I kind of find really fascinating about these three cards as well, is that all three cards are associated with the third eye chakra. Now, the third eye chakra is in your forehead. It's just kind of above the bridge of your nose. And it's and the third eye chakra is all about it's about I see. It's about seeing things that you ordinarily wouldn't see. And so you have here again, you have the High Priestess is saying, you're not going to see them until you take some time out. You're not going to see them till you go deep. So lovely, people. I'm gutted that this is the end of our reading, but I do have to end here. So this is our reading for this week, and if it resonates with you on any level, do leave me a comment below. You can subscribe to this channel to be notified for the next reading. And if you would like to know more, you can book a private reading with me. I would love to hear from you. You can find my email address in the description of the video. And until next week, I'm going to love you and leave you and send you the best wishes, and so looking forward to hear how you get on with this. Lots of love.